In the previous episode, I installed the ProSlat slat wall system on the interior walls of the garage. Today I will be doing the last major step in my garage, installing the Swisstrax floor tile. Specifically, I use the Swisstrax Ribtrax Smooth Eco floor tiles. Unfortunately, the Eco tiles have since been discontinued by Swisstrax. They were made of 100% recycled plastics. The regular Ribtrax Smooth are still available and look just like these tiles here. I purchased my order through Obsessed Garage, who are an authorized seller of Swisstrax products. They were very helpful and quickly got my order shipped. Here we're looking at the Swisstrax website, and we can see the variety of different tiles that they make. Let's take a closer look at the Ribtrax Smooth. This page shows the details about the tiles. The measurements, construction, chemical resistance, 15-year warranty, 2500 psi strength, heat resistance from negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit to 248 degrees Fahrenheit, UV stabilizer, among other things. Here are the choices for the Ribtrax Smooth. There are 10 colors to choose from. I chose the Slate Grey inner color, a racing red border, and pearl silver for the outer color. There is a 3D floor designer, and it was greatly useful for figuring out the colors, design, and how much tile to order. First, I need to log in. You can save a bunch of designs. Here I will choose the one that I ordered. When designing, you need to enter the dimensions of your garage and then put in items such as doors and windows. You can switch between 3D and 2D views to get a better idea of what the design will look like. And you can also zoom in and out. The menu on the left will allow you to pick the different types of floor tiles. They have predefined patterns too. Go to the custom design and it will give you full control over choosing different tile types and picking various colors. Here I'm just playing around with choosing different colors and moving stuff around. Let's modify this design to make it a little bit closer to how mine turned out. I only used one width of the silver tile at the front of the garage door and made the back wall a little bit thicker. I have the left side at roughly a tile and a half of silver, and the right side is 2 full tiles. I did this since my car will be parked on the left and will be closer to the wall. When you're done with your design, you can create an output file. This PDF shows the tiles that need to be purchased by color and amount. Here are the dimensions of the tile. They are 15.75 inches or 40 centimeters on each side, and 0.63 inches or 1.6 centimeters thick. The tiles attach to each other by a peg and loop method. 2 of the sides have loops, as seen here. There are 6 loops on each side. And then the other 2 have 6 pegs that match up with the loops. You can see that underneath there is a network of channels that allow water to move through the tiles. Now I'll show you how they attach together. They snap together by pressing down with your hands, feet, or knees. Here you can see underneath where the pegs and loops are connected. The tiles are easily separated. If necessary, just pull them apart. I'm about ready to start the installation, and I want to show you the 3 colors up close. Here's the pearl silver, the racing red, and the dark gray. Where the front of the garage meets the 16-foot door, you need to use an edge tile. The edge tiles fit together using the same peg and loops. When ordering, make sure that you specify edges with loops or edges with pegs. With my situation, I ordered edges with loops. The gradual slope of this edge tile allows your car to enter the garage without causing any problems. Start out by unboxing some tiles. Orient the tiles so that the peg side faces towards the door and left wall. When starting installation, make the first row so that it goes along the opening of the garage door. When the first row is done, you can start inserting the edge tiles along the front. You're most likely going to have areas that need partial tiles. Leave those whole for right now, and when it's situated, you can trim these to fit. Let's start the second row of tiles. The design I'm using has an outer pearl silver color, and then a red border. Next, start the third row of tiles. And during this row, we're going to start using the dark gray tiles too. So once 3 rows of tiles are done, we will close the garage door. Now we're going to line up the tiles with the garage door. Push it as far as it will go. Next, I will continue laying out the tile according to the pattern that I designed. This part goes fairly quickly. So if you notice, the front is against the garage door and the left side is against the left wall. So that means that the back wall and right wall need to have pieces cut so that they can fit. Since the edge tile is a few inches thick, there is a little section on the left and right front wall that needs to be filled in too. Now I'm going to mark the area that needs to be cut on the edge tile. I'll bring that piece over to my compound miter saw and make the cut. And that piece fits in nicely. And now for the other side. I'll do the same thing. And so now the edges are complete. And now the hardest part begins. I need to cut a few dozen of these tiles that go around the outer edge. Normally, you would leave a 1/4 inch gap between the floor tile and the wall. This will allow for expansion and contraction during the summer and winter, and also from direct sunlight. Since my garage will be using an HVAC system at some point, I didn't see the need to use a gap. The back wall is now complete, and I'm going to move around to the front left. Luckily, I can use the cut off pieces on the back wall for the front wall, so that will reduce some of the waste. The area around the vertical track is tricky to do. I will measure out the part that needs to be trimmed. I do have some leftover pieces that I can use someday if I want to do this a little bit more accurately. I think this side worked out a little bit nicer. And with this piece, I am done with the front wall. Ah, and finally, the last piece is in. And now we get to see the completed floor project. After this video was shot, I caulked all the seams between the concrete foundation and the wood sill plate. There was actually quite a bit of caulking. I also had to do trim work and also around the door area. I forgot to mention my tool list for this video. I used a measuring tape, pencil, carpenter square, oscillating saw, jigsaw, and compound miter saw. And for the rest of the video, I'm going to show you 2 quick time lapses of the installation from different points of view. Overall, this was a fairly easy project. The main part of laying out the tiles went fairly quickly. It required patience and accuracy when trimming the tiles. That took roughly 4 times longer to do. I've had the floor now for a month and really like how it turned out. It's easy to maintain. I just use a leaf blower and aim it out the door. Anything on the tiles wipes up easily. I don't have any issues of the tiles moving or buckling at all, even when I angle my car in and turn the wheels. If you're interested in getting this type of floor tile, look in the video description below for a link to Obsessed Garage. They are good guys. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.